Hi, my name is Dr. Stephanie Michelle Nixon. I'm a speech language pathologist, and I wanted to share some information with other providers and patients out there regarding words and the weight that they have. So I'm starting a series, or I'm going to try and keep it going, fingers crossed, called Words Have Weight. Before I go on, some top level disclaimers. It represents a personal professional audit of my own legally obtained medical history and my designated record set. I will not be naming providers' names. It is not an intention to critique specific individuals or institutions, but it is a critique of the content and quality of documentation and patterns of clinical bias that we do see. With that in mind, definitely words have weight. If you saw what I said from the patient perspective, this is now also from the provider perspective. As a provider, we need to ask ourselves, do you want the words you say about that patient and their chart on that day at that time would you want those in your permanent record? Are you able to defend any statements you make that might go outside your scope, or even within your scope, based on the objective data you can see? So, for example, like if you're looking at a patient and you see that this patient has history of a laparoscopy in which their appendix was removed, and that appendix pathology came back with endometriosis stage 4 extrapelvic, we can't say that the appendectomy was incidental and not for appendicitis. It wasn't appendicitis. No, it was for endometriosis. And we also have to keep in mind information such as, if a patient was out of work for 3 weeks due to losing her voice, then, and when I say losing their voice, they have no residual due to ulceration on their vocal folds, that degree of disability did not surpass objective findings. It fell within them. So we need to be conscientious of how these words happen and what our words can mean and how that carries through institutions. So in this series, my goal is to kind of address these different pieces, talk to you guys about how can we better communicate with our patients. So with all of those things in mind, I hope you'll visit my blog, and we can also engage in a conversation about it. For providers, keep in mind, I want you to consider, again, what would you want another provider to say about you? And watch for bias. Just seriously watch for it. If you see a dismissive note from a colleague towards a patient in their chart, in their messages to you, don't carry that forward. Check it. Ask the patient. Document the objective truth. And also consider things like this. In my chart throughout, there's comments like pressured speech. My natural speech rate is fast. That's just me. It always has been me. So with that in mind, and sorry, my camera's being bumped by a cat. This is just something to keep in mind. Like, how are you going to determine, is that the patient or is that anxiety? Thanks. Look forward to talking to you guys. Bye.